I say use it for the priority, use the main arteries first, and then do the gravel road. But have the gravel roads as your camping.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Have two roads that we did this summer, probably within the last month or so. Nobody be out here in the winter time, maybe a few of them, yeah, but they're not going to hardly be used at all. Or the main roads have to be used all winter long.
Charlie, if you got a specific road you want addressed at the end, fill out that piece of paper. Make sure
I've done it for 3 months already, it's not been done yet.
We just done your dam and the other road coming out here because you had a complaint. Now what are you complaining about now, sir?
I told you,
They didn't go all the way up here by your house, so you got to do it. I'll tell you what, no, let's tell the truth, because you already stopped the guy that did the pavement, Charlie.
that road is so much potholed up
right every day.
You get up in South Woodland and West Woodland, it's nothing potholed. You get up North Woodland, it's nothing potholed. You get up on top of the hill here, West Road.
Charlie, it's like there is more people than just the people that live back in your little area. Okay? You have to take care of everybody equally.
Up here all the way around. From the gate all the way down here.
I've had potholes on my hill for years too. Okay?
I know.
But you know, I only have 2 ways in and out. You've got 3 ways in and out.
You have no way to that. You can come down and don't go out.
Well, sure, I go across my next door neighbor's yard.
Well, you make this up with South Woodland.
That's enough of this.
It's nothing but pothole.
It's enough, Charlie. That's the end of that.
Everybody
We will address your problem.
Thank you. I hope so. All right.
Yes, sir.
Come on, bring it on.
You ain't got it.
All right.
Yes.
Is it a threat?
I got a few
Police
questions.
officers, did you hear that?
I got a few.
You must use that on my head.
Charlie, one minute. Please leave the meeting. We're asking you to leave the meeting, sir.
If you're going to keep interrupting, please leave.
Thank you. I got 2 things I want to bring up. One, and for Roy.
Was he just told to leave?
Go right ahead. One, all the common ground. Who is actually controlling and owning the common ground?
Who is what?
Who basically owns the common ground?
Trusteeship.
Okay. Because I've been reading where, people are saying, well, we can't stop you from using common ground. Most people don't realize the common ground also includes the roads.
Yes, that's usually the biggest common ground there is.
And if people don't pay their assessments, you can bar them from driving in, but you can't bar them from walking in. Yes. Well, they're walking down the road to get their property. Well, technically, if they're barred from common ground, aren't they also barred from blacktop roads and roads?
Roads are roads.
It's a balancing
See what I'm
test.
getting at?
It's a balancing test between, do we want to prevent them from going to their land, to their lot that they own totally? Or do we just impose a reasonable restriction, which is, if they're not going to pay for the roads, we're not going to let them put a 2-ton vehicle on it, which tears them up.
Yes.
So that was a decision made by a board prior to us, prior to these folks.
Yeah.
Okay? And so, could they have made it an absolute bar? Well, if you belong to a golf club, country club, and you don't pay the assessments, do you have a right to show up? Not at all. They bar it completely. It's a private organization, just like this is a private organization. But the boards before this board had to wrestle with that. And the decision that they made, and it's a board decision by people you elect, that decision was, okay, we are not going to totally ban them from coming down to their lot, but we don't think if they're not going to pay their assessments that help pave these or protect and repair these roads, then we're not going to let them drive their vehicles on them and tear them up. So it was kind of a balancing test that a board prior to this one adopted, and that has not been changed.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you finished?
No, yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. Some of the board members know I belong to a certain rescue team. I was going to approach the board about bringing the team on the CERT training. I've been working with Washington County trying to get CERT training. With all the disruption and chaos going on in this place, part of CERT training is working with one another. With all the disruption that's going on in this place, there is no way this place could work as a team. So I'm holding off from that too. Until this place can get together and work as a unit, there's no way I'm going to embarrass myself by hurting people in here.
I want to make a comment. Don't let a handful of people disrupt the majority, because we have got a handful of people compared to the whole development that has a problem with this, that, and the other thing. That's to be expected. Don't let that keep you from moving forward, because we're going to keep going forward, and we're going to go forward until we can't go forward anymore. That's the way we put it.
That's all the training and everything. That's one of the reasons I went through the training, is to be able to give the goals. I've been working with Washington County trying to get them to back me on it. But I've got to be based on if it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's well worth it.
It's worth it to most of the majority of the people here, I can tell you, Kevin.
It
I
was
know
so
I'm
nice
gonna
to
have
go.
it. I will too.
So first of all, it's going to be worth it to the kid we're looking for.
Yes.
Right. We need to focus on why we do things. And if we would say, in the spring, if we get this started in the spring, I'm telling you, we'll have more people that will know what to do.
Yes, you will.
Well, the thing is for me to bring my team in, we go on ATV. None of them have got stickers. I have to get special permission from the board, which I don't know if you're going to be here when I start to bring.
We don't know either, Kevin. I can't answer that one.
Yeah.
We hope that in the spirit of the development and the indentures that we follow, that any board that sits behind here will
Well,
follow
well,
those rules, just
you
like
know what?
we're trying to.
2 times last year we had kids missing. I've never seen a community come together. I know I was involved. I looked for ours, and I know everybody in here was probably part of that looking for these kids.
One of our high school coaches got lost deer hunting a couple weekends ago. And he had a cell phone that was losing his battery. He said, this is probably my last. He just was in the woods, he didn't know where he was. And the kids went out on the roads in Mount Morris to find which way he was supposed to go. I'm telling you, we need to, here's where long-range planning committee could go in. This board can sit and talk with this man about what needs to be done, we're going to do this, and we're going to go through this step, and da-da-da-da. And who's ever on that board, it's not 7 individuals, you are a board. And that board said in 2011, this is what we want to look forward to in 2012. And whenever that board sits in 2012, they look and say, okay, our next step is to approve special stickers. It can be a flow. We don't have to start over every time there's a new board. That's why I've said this before, we need a long-range planning committee to start getting a continual flow of getting things done. Every 6 months we start over. Every 6 months we start over. And we got to stop that.
I want to make a comment to that. It was brought up at our last meeting, the board discussed, and I brought up the long-range planning. We're going to work getting it together and getting some people active other than the trustees. We're going to get some people from outside.
We have one.
Yes, we did. I know
We
that.
had a 5-year, we had a 10-year
I know.
plan.
And we're going to get that back going because it needs to be.
That's how